welcome to day 18 of my 6th annual SLAP challenge. SLAP, S-L-A-P, stands for squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups. We are doing 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day every single day except Sundays for 40 days. And this is day 18 already, so we're almost halfway through the challenge, which is amazing. Of course, you do not have to join the challenge. If you just want to do this workout with me today, that's great. There are timestamps in the description box down below the video. So if you would prefer to just skip straight ahead to the workout, go ahead and use the chapter markers to do that. But if you're interested in joining the challenge and you'd like to hear a little bit more about it, let me just begin by telling you that there is a playlist that contains all of the workouts for this challenge in chronological order, so it's super easy to follow along. I will link the playlist up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and it will be linked at the very end of the video as well, so you can't miss it. So again, we're doing 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day every single day except Sundays for 40 days. That is the challenge in a nutshell. However, there is an other component to it. There is a physical component. There's also kind of a mental health component. So with doing these reps every day, the objective is, of course, to build strength. Maybe your goals include getting yourself in shape or losing weight, and that's great. But we are also using these 160 reps every day to build a habit of daily exercise. I'm sure that you've heard it takes 30 days to create a habit. I don't know if that's true, but that's what we're trying to do with this challenge. So after these 40 days, the objective is that you will have created a habit of daily exercise, and so the challenge will kind of keep going, and not that you have to keep doing 160 reps every single day, but that this is just the beginning on what's hopefully going to be a long health journey towards your goals, of your overall fitness goals or weight loss goals or whatever you're trying to accomplish with this challenge. But we are also using these reps that we're doing every day to try to silence that negative self-talk that holds us back. So if you want to learn more about all of that, I'm going to suggest that you begin by first of all saving the playlist, so that when and if you do decide to join the challenge, you have all of the workouts readily available to you, and all you have to do is just open the playlist every day, click on a new workout, and work out right along with me. So save the playlist and then begin by watching that day 1 video. The day 1 video contains our workout for day 1, but it also contains every little bit of information you could possibly need to know to get started with this challenge. Exactly what it is, how it works, why we're doing it, how to participate, and where to begin. And in that day 1 video, I also went into a lot of detail demonstrating and explaining your correct form for how to do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, and I provided tons of beginner modifications because this year I am making a concerted effort to ensure that the challenge is accessible to super duper ultra day 1 beginners. So if you are a beginner, if you are someone who is in terrible shape, you have the worst knees in the whole world, you've never done a workout before in your entire life, you are in the right place. You can absolutely do this challenge with me. And if you watch that day 1 video, you will see how. And remember that I am right here doing the challenge right along with you every single day, but I'm not only working out with you, I am also here to provide guidance, motivation, support, and I'm here to answer your questions. Every day I am sharing brand new workouts with you, but I always take the time before we begin the workout to demonstrate and explain all of the exercises that we're doing. I always provide beginner modifications for you, and then I guide you through a quick 5-minute warm-up before we do our reps together. But if ever anything is unclear or you have questions about the exercises we're doing, if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I've already shown you. I am always here to answer questions. So I always encourage you to reach out if you need any help or guidance, or if you need any support or motivation along the way. Now, if you are not a beginner, then the workouts we're doing this year for the challenge might not really be advanced enough for you. They might not challenge you. So if you would prefer to follow along with last year's playlist, I think that's probably a better fit for you if you're more advanced. I will link that playlist up here as well. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video, and it will be linked at the very end of the video. Last year was my 5th year in a row doing the challenge. Same challenge. We were doing at least 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of an ab exercise, and 40 push-ups a day, every single day, except Sundays for 40 days. But last year the workouts were much more intense. We were doing more advanced versions of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, and frequently we were doing a lot more than just those 160 reps. We were adding weight and incorporating cardio into most of the workouts. So if you want to do the challenge, but you want to actually be challenged by the workouts, then I recommend saving the playlist from last year. But save this playlist as well, because even if you're in great shape and you're capable of doing much more difficult stuff than what we're doing today or what we're doing this year for the challenge, the workouts that we're doing this year are still great workouts. They're short, they're kind of like compact, they're very simple, and it's pretty much all body weight exercises. So these workouts that we're doing this year are a great option to have if you're traveling and you don't have access to any equipment, or if you just are really pressed for time and you just want to be able to bust out a few reps really quickly just to do something. If you're in good shape, you're going to be able to get almost all of the workouts we're doing this year complete in under 10 minutes. So you can even use them as like a warm-up for either like just a more intense workout, or maybe if you're about to go for a long jog or a hike or a bike ride or something like that. A lot of these workouts will make a great warm-up for you. So save both playlists, and then depending on your needs that day, you can kind of just bounce back and forth between the playlists. But you do not have to go in any type of order, okay? I am presenting the workout in a very structured way. I am sharing a brand new workout every single day. I'm incorporating our daily reps into a new workout every day. But you don't have to do exactly what I'm doing. You can choose any of the workouts off of either playlist on any given day, or you can make up your own workout. You don't even have to do a structured workout if you don't want to. You really can just kind of do your reps randomly throughout the day. So you could get up first thing in the morning and do 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 reps of an ab exercise, any ab exercise you want, and 10 push-ups. Any variations of those 4 exercises that you want. And then you can just repeat that 3 more times throughout the day. So you could do it again after lunch, you could do it again after you get home from work, and then once more before bed. And there's your 160 reps. If you do want to do a structured workout, but you don't like the workout I'm doing, just pick any of the other workouts from either of the playlists. If you like the workout I'm doing, but you can't quite manage to do one or more of the variations of these exercises that I'm doing, just substitute with any other variation of that exercise you want. If the push-up variation I'm doing today is too difficult for you, just substitute with a different push-up variation. Same thing with the squats, lunges, and abs. As long as you're getting your 40 reps of squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups done every day, then you have met your requirement to participate in the challenge, and you're good. That being said, I do have at least one person, and I think 2, who are participating in the challenge this year, who are not doing 40 reps of everything. They're doing fewer reps, and that's great. If you're doing it, it's your challenge. So do it in a way that works for you. I'm sharing with you what I'm doing, and you are more than welcome to join me and do exactly what I'm doing every single day. That's great. But you can always feel free to make changes and adjustments, modify the exercises, modify the formats of the workouts, do your own workout. It doesn't matter. As long as you're getting your reps done, that's all that matters. And if 160 reps is too many, then cut the reps in half. Do 20 reps of everything, and that's 80 reps every single day. And if working out Monday through Saturday is too much for you, then do 3 days a week or 4 days a week, okay? If you can only do 20 days of the challenge instead of 40, then do 20. I would rather have you do 20 reps of everything every day than no reps. And I would rather have you do 20 days of the challenge than no days of the challenge. It's always better to do something than nothing. So just make the commitment to participate to whatever extent you are able, and then follow through. Whatever you want to do, whatever works for you is great, just as long as you do something. And remember that I am always here, so if you have questions about what to do or where to start or how to modify, just ask. So let's go ahead and go over the exercises that we are going to be doing for today's workout. I'm kind of going in order again today through the exercises, meaning that we are spelling the word slap. So that means that we are starting with our S for squats. So first of all, let's just go over your proper form for an air squat. Remember, the first thing you want to do is tuck your shoulder blades into your back pockets. So shoulder blades into the back pockets. That means your shoulders are back and down, and it's going to help you keep your chest lifted nice and high, which is what we want. Then you want to really make sure your abs are engaged, so tighten up your abs like someone's about to punch you in the stomach and you're bracing for impact, okay? Really engage your abs. The next thing you're gonna do is think about hinging at the hips, because if you think about squatting straight down, then your knees are going to tend to end up out over your toes. That's really a good way to hurt your knees, and I don't want that, but that's really not the movement. So instead, what I want you to think about is hinging at the hips. So if you imagine trying to touch the wall behind you with your booty, that is going to help me keep my back flat. It's also going to help me keep my weight in my heels. So my knees are not going to be out over my toes. I'm hinging at the hips, pushing my booty back, keeping my weight over my heels. Do you see I can actually pick up my toes? Okay? And at the same time, remember, you're keeping your chest lifted nice and high. So you're touching the wall behind you with your booty. At the same time, you're touching the wall in front of you with your chest. Your spine is nice and elongated. You're not allowing your back to round at any point. Roll the shoulders back and down, lift the chest. Try to touch the wall in front of you with your chest, touch the wall behind you with your booty, keeping that back flat and keeping the weight in your heels. And from this position is where you can sink down into your squat. Okay, then you're going to press the ground away to stand. And I mean actively, really imagine you're trying to press the ground away from you. That's going to activate all those muscles in your feet, through your legs, your quads, your glutes, and your core, okay? So once more, shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. Push the booty back, keep your back flat, the weight in your heels as you sink down into your squat. Then press your heels into the ground and push the ground away to stand. All right, so that's just a basic air squat. And that's essentially what we're going to be doing. I'm gonna add a little side kick after the squat. So if you would like to add the side kick with me, I'll demonstrate that right now. But if you just wanna stick with air squats, if you don't wanna do the side kick, that's fine. Remember, any squat variation you wanna do is fine. And if you need to hold on to a chair for support, that is another option. You can hold on to a chair for support while you do your squats, or you can actually squat into the chair. I'm not going to demonstrate those modifications today, but I demonstrated them just yesterday. So if you need to see those modifications, if you need a chair for support, watch yesterday's video, the day 17 video, or just ask me and I'll be happy to show you that, okay? But if you do need a chair for support, just make sure that your chair is strong enough to support your weight. Make sure it's sturdy, meaning that it's well made, it's good quality, and it's nothing that's going to kind of collapse or break or fold up on you when you put weight on it. And make sure it's stable, meaning that it can't slide from underneath you. So if you need to use a chair to assist you for the squats or for any of these exercises, I recommend placing the chair on top of an exercise mat or a yoga mat just to help it stay put. Okay, so let me know if you need to see those modifications. So I'm going to do my air squat, and then I'm going to add a little side kick. So I'm going to start by picking up one foot. You can see I'm starting over here towards one side of my workout space. So I'm going to be traveling towards the other side. So I'm going to pick up this outside leg Like if this was my workout space, this would be like the outside of my space, right? That's what I mean by outside leg. I'm going to pick up this leg and I'm going to step it in front of the other leg and across my body. Then I'm going to take this back leg. I'm going to bring it around the back. I'm going to bring my knee up, drive my knee up towards my chest, and then I'm going to kick to the side. So I'm going to just kind of kick towards this wall over here with power. Then bring the knee back up and place it down. And I'm placing it down not right next to the other foot, but I'm about shoulder width apart, maybe a little bit more than shoulder width apart, because now I'm gonna go right into my next rep. We're traveling back and forth. We're alternating sides with that kick for each leg. So now from here, I'm gonna do my next rep. I'm gonna squat, and now this is my outside foot. So I'm gonna pick up this foot, step it across the other one, take the back leg, bring it around, drive the knee up, kick out, bring the knee back, put the foot down. Not right next to the other foot, but a little bit wider than shoulder width apart so that I'm ready for my next rep. Squat, step, knee comes up, kick out, knee comes back, foot goes down. Squat, cross over, and kick. Squat, step, kick. Squat, step, kick. Okay? So, make sure, first of all, that you understand the movement for the kick. So again, it's up, out, back, down. Okay? Knee comes up, kick the leg out, bring the knee back, put the foot down. Up, out, back, and down. Also with this style of kick, when my leg is out and I'm kicking, you want to make sure that you're not leaning with your butt, your torso towards the other wall and kind of flattening your body out so you're in kind of like a T, like perpendicular to the ground. I want to try to keep my torso as upright as possible as I do that kick. So I actually want to kind of think of leaning towards this wall as I'm kicking towards the same wall. So that instead of this, I'm doing this. Do you see the difference? See how my torso is not going towards the opposite wall. If anything, it's going towards that wall, okay? So it's like if you wanted to punch and kick the same target at the same time, all right? You can even add a punch if you want, if that helps. But if you kind of keep your momentum going in the same way that you're kicking, it helps with your balance, it helps with your power, and we want a really powerful kick, okay? I'm not just kind of going through the motions, I'm not just kind of flailing my leg about. I'm really kicking. So this is Brutus here, right? Every time we add a punch or a kick with one of these exercises, we imagine that we're kicking Brutus. So there he is, laughing at you, saying, there's no way you're gonna get through 40 reps of this tough squat variation, and you say, watch me, okay? And you kick him right in the teeth, shut him up, okay? Now he's over here, he's everywhere, a little bugger. So now you're gonna kick him over here, you're gonna squat, step, and kick hard, okay? As much power as you can manage with that kick. If the kick is too difficult, you can just do a leg lift. We do that all the time. So you can squat, step, and lift the leg, okay? So I'm not bending the knee and I'm not kicking, I'm just lifting the leg, keeping my leg more or less straight and lifting it to the side. And you can do that with or without the crossover. This is an exercise we've already done a few times in this challenge where you can just squat and lift the leg, okay, without kicking. Or if the crossover makes it too complicated, you can do the kick, but just stay put, just squat and kick side to side, okay? So lots of ways to modify. Remember that any squat variation you want to do is fine, but I'm going to be doing a squat with a step across and then a side kick, okay? So shoulders back and down, chest is high, abs are tight, pushing the booty back, keeping the back flat, keeping the weight in the heels as you sink into that squat, then step across and kick. Put the foot down. Other direction. Squat, step across, and kick, okay? Up, out, back and down. Now, the lunge variation I'm doing today is a little bit challenging, but if you are a beginner, don't worry, you can always modify. Even if you're a beginner though, you might be able to do it. Not all beginners are automatically at the same level just because they are beginners. So feel free to try it with me, but if not, remember that you can do any lunge variation you want. So if this one is out of reach for you right now, then you're just gonna remove the jump. I'm doing jump lunges. So what it means is that I'm going to start in this lunge position. So to get into the lunge position, again, shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. I'm starting with my feet about shoulder width apart. So they're not out wide, they're not together, just about shoulder width apart, okay? Or hip width apart, I should say, okay? So just in a position that feels kind of neutral to you. Roll the shoulders back and down. Chest is high, abs are tight. You're going to pick up one foot and take a step behind you. And then you're going to bend both knees and sink down into your lunge like this. This is your starting position. Now in this position, you want to do your best to make sure that there's more or less a 90-degree angle in this front knee, meaning that you want the knee of your front leg to be more over the heel of your front foot as opposed to being out over your toes like this, okay? So try to be aware that you have more or less a 90-degree angle in this front leg. And with this back knee, if you're able to tap the ground, that's fine, you can. If you cannot tap the ground, you don't have to. Please work to your own level. So don't push your body into doing something it's not ready to do. If you're here, then just be here. That's absolutely fine. If you are able to tap the ground with that back knee, and that's something that you want to do, great, do it. Just make sure the movement is under control because you don't want to bang your knee into the ground. It hurts. I've done it many a time. So from here, what I'm going to do is jump and switch the position of my feet. So if you've been following the challenge, you may remember that in an earlier workout, we did this exercise where we did a lunge jump. We did this lunge here and then we jumped, but we kept the same foot forward and the same foot back. We're going to do that, but while we're in the air, we're going to switch the position so that the other foot is going to be forward in our lunge, okay? So shoulders are back and down, chest is lifted high, abs are tight. Step one foot back, bend both knees, sink into your lunge. Now you're gonna jump up and switch the position of your feet and then sink down into another lunge, okay? So switching legs with each jump, and each jump is 1 rep. So 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. It's pretty taxing, especially if you're out of shape like I am right now, or if you're recovering from, I don't know what was going on with me last week, but so it's a challenging lunge variation, but we're only doing sets of 10. So if you feel like you could tackle just a short set of 10, then go ahead and try that lunge variation. If it's too difficult, then you can substitute with any other lunge variation you want. So for example, you could do those static lunge jumps that we did in a previous workout that I was referring to earlier. It's the same exercise, but instead of switching your feet, you're just gonna stay on one leg the entire time. So if you opt for that, just remember each time we go through the circuit, you're going to have to switch which leg is in front. So always remember, say we're gonna do the circuit 4 times. So say 1 and 3, it'll be the leg that's towards this gate. And then even numbers, when we go through the circuit the 2nd time and the 4th time, then you'll have this leg that's closest to you would be forward. Okay, just remember which leg you're working so that you can even yourself out. But that is another possibility, okay? Just step into your lunge and then jump, but keep your feet right where they are. 2, 3, 4, okay? If the jump is too much, eliminate it. You can just do static lunges. So again, you're gonna start in the same position and then just pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? So bending both knees, tapping that back knee to the ground if you can, 90-degree angle on this front leg, push the ground away to stand and straighten the legs. And each time you straighten the legs, there's 1 rep. That's another possibility, and you can absolutely do that holding on to a strong, sturdy, stable chair or some other kind of elevated surface for support if that helps. Again, if you do that, just make sure that each time through the circuit, you switch which foot is in front. Remember that another really simple beginner modification is just to shorten up your range of motion. So if it's too difficult to take a really big step back and it's too difficult to lunge really low, then you can take a shorter step back and you can, shorten up the range of motion on your lunge. You can just come here and you can step the foot forward and just do reverse lunges if that works better for you. If that's easier than the static lunges, holding onto a chair for support if you need to. So any lunge variation you want is absolutely fine, but I'm going to be doing jump lunges. They're pretty challenging. They're gonna wipe me out today, but it's just sets of 10, so I think I can do it. Okay, now for abs, I'm going to be down on my mat today. So if you can't get down on the mat, if that's too difficult for you, then remember you always have your standing ab exercise that I show you just about every day. You can hold on to a strong, sturdy, stable chair or some other elevated surface for support, or you can just put your hand on the wall and then take the opposite leg, extend it to the side, place your free hand behind your neck or your head, and then you're just gonna lift this leg, bend the knee, and crunch, bringing your elbow down to meet your knee. Touching knee to elbow if you can, but if you can't, then just be where you are. You might only be able to come here, that's fine. But what you're going for, that's the intent behind it, is getting your knee to your elbow. Just really feel that crunch in your obliques. Just remember, again, we're working only one side with this exercise, so you need to switch sides each time through the circuit, okay? So that is also yesterday's exercise might work for you. We did love bends yesterday. So watch yesterday's video. I'll link that video up here in the iCard. It will also be linked in the description box down below the video. So yeah, just if you want another option for standing abs, love bends could work really well for you. And I demonstrated and explained those in yesterday's workout. But if you would like to come down on the mat with me, I'm going to be doing these kind of like reverse crunches, I guess. I had to switch up the ab exercise this year because usually for this day 18 workout, I'm using my dip bar. And I'm doing knee raises on my dip bar, which is a great exercise, but I want to assume, since I am gearing the challenge towards ultra beginners this year, I want to assume that you are not going to have a piece of equipment like that. If you do have something like a walker, knee raises are a great option, or a pull-up bar, or if you feel like taking this workout to the park, knee raises are a great option. That is normally what I would be doing for today's workout, but I just want to assume that you don't have access to anything like that for today. So I'm gonna do these kind of reverse crunches instead. I'm just gonna come down onto my back on the mat. My hands are just resting right to my side like this. I have my knees bent, and I'm going to pick up my heels and lift the knees so that my knees are more or less at about a 90-degree angle. Now, in this position, I want to make sure I'm pressing my low back into the mat. So if I'm just lying here relaxing, what happens is that there's naturally a curve in your low back. So I can actually put my hand underneath the small of my back. That's what we want to get rid of for this exercise. So you want to tilt your pelvis forward, okay? So grab onto your hips like this and do this motion. Tilt your pelvis forward. It's like you are trying to touch your spine with your belly button, okay? So when you do that, you're pressing your low back into the mat. And now do you see I cannot get my hand underneath there anymore? So when I'm relaxed, hand goes right underneath. When I tilt my pelvis this way, suck my belly button towards my spine, my low back is now pressing into the mat and I can't fit my hand under there. Okay, so that's what we're going for. So lift the knees, and now you're just gonna lower the knees and tap your heels lightly to the mat or the ground, making sure you're controlling the movement so you're not just dropping your legs. That's gravity. We want to work against gravity. We need that resistance in order to build a muscle and build strength. So you want to make sure the movement is super controlled. Tilting that pelvis, pressing your low back into the mat this whole time. Abs are engaged. Okay, you don't have to do it that slowly, but that's how much under control the movement needs to be. And then when you get up here, if you want, I'm going to be adding a little hip raise. So I'm just gonna lift my hips kind of straight up. So starting with your knees elevated, low back is pressed into the mat. You're lowering the heels with control, keeping that low back in contact with the mat the entire time, see? And then when you get here, just kind of lifting those hips, more or less straight up. So lower and lift the legs, lift the hips. And again, when you lower the hips, lower them with control, so you're not just falling down. You want every aspect of the movement to be under control. Lift and lower, okay? You're not just falling, you're lowering. Okay, so that is my ab exercise. If the hip lift is too much, just stay here. If doing both legs at the same time is too difficult, do one at a time. If this is just too difficult, then substitute with any other ab exercise you want, any sit-up variation you want, any crunch variation you want, standing abs, it doesn't matter. As long as you're getting your 40 reps done, you're good, so do what works for you. All right, so time to tackle our push-ups, everyone's favorite. So for just a standard push-up, you're going to start with your hands directly underneath your shoulders, and you're going to extend your legs behind you, come up into a plank position. And up here in your plank position, there are 3 things that I want you to be aware of. Number 1 is your head. You want your head to be in line with your spine. So what you don't want to do is allow your head to drop down like this. I want my head right in line with my spine, so don't overcorrect. You don't need to hyperextend your neck. But what you want to imagine is that you're standing against a wall and you're just kind of lightly pressing the back of your head into the wall. That's where you want your neck, perfectly in line, straight up and down in line with your spine. And then from there, your head should never move. You want your head to stay perfectly still. So that's number 1. Number 2 is I want you to keep your shoulders away from your ears. And what I mean by that is that a lot of people have a tendency to kind of sink down into their shoulders like this. What you want to do to fix that is to think of pressing the mat away from you. So do you see when I'm down here that I'm kind of letting gravity take over, my shoulders are up by my ears, but now when I push the mat away from me, my shoulders are away from my ears. You want to be up as high as you can in this plank position. And the third thing that I want you to pay attention to is your abs. So you want your abs to be super strong and tight and engaged the same way when I was explaining and demonstrating the proper form for your squats. How I said it's like someone's about to punch you in the stomach as hard as they can, and you're bracing for that impact. The reason for that is because that is going to help you keep your body in one straight line. That's going to help you keep your back flat. What we're trying to avoid is an arch in the back, and it's a very common mistake. So you do not want to let your hips or your belly kind of droop down towards the mat like this. Instead, what you're going to do is tighten up your abs and use your ab muscles to lift your hips high and keep them high. If your hips are slightly elevated like this, that's not terrible because in this position, my back is still flat. So I'm not going to hurt myself doing the push-ups that way, and it actually makes the push-ups a little bit easier. So don't worry about it too much if your hips are elevated. What we really want to avoid is the opposite, that arch in the back. As long as your back is flat, you're okay. But what you're going for is this, one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So this is not terrible, but it's something to be aware of so that you can work towards correcting it. This is absolutely incorrect, and it needs to be fixed immediately. This is ideal, okay? So tighten up those abs, lift the hips high, do your best to keep your body in one straight line from your heels to your shoulders. And then once you've found that straight line, that beautiful high plank position, nothing moves. Think of your body as a plank, like a 2x4, a piece of wood. So you're going to bend your elbows and lower your chest as close to the mat as you can without breaking that straight line from your heels to your shoulders, okay? So another really common mistake is that people might be able to find this beautiful plank position, but then as they bend their elbows and lower their chest down, they're unable to get their chest all the way down to the mat, and so they compensate for that fact by lowering their hips or their belly to the mat. That's what we're trying to avoid. Your hips and your belly should not touch the mat. Your belly may touch the mat if you have a big belly for whatever reason, because you're overweight or you're pregnant or whatever. That doesn't necessarily mean you're doing anything wrong as long as your back is flat, okay? The point is that you're not allowing your back to arch and letting your hips or your belly kind of droop down towards the mat. The other really common mistake that people will make if they are unable to get their chest all the way down to the mat is they'll lower their forehead down to the mat like this. Your forehead should definitely never be touching the mat or the ground because your head should stay perfectly in line with your spine. So if you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, that's fine. The goal at some point, someday when you're strong enough, is to touch the mat with your chest, to get your chest all the way down to the mat. But the objective is to maintain that straight line from your heels to your shoulders. So you're not just trying to touch the mat at the expense of that straight line. You're trying to keep that straight line from your heels to your shoulders above all else. So if you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat without breaking that straight line from your heels to your shoulders, just shorten up your range of motion. So if you can only come here, that's fine. As soon as you've gotten your chest as close to the mat as you can, you're just going to press the mat away from you, push yourself back up, and return to your starting position, okay? If you're doing knee push-ups, it's the exact same exercise. Literally the only difference is that instead of your straight line being from your heels to your shoulders, your straight line is from your knees to your shoulders, but everything else is the same. Shoulders are away from the ears, you're pressing the mat away, head is in line with the spine, you're not letting it drop like this, you're not hyperextending your neck, head's in a nice neutral position in line with the spine, and that's where it stays. Hips are lifted nice and high, your back is flat. You're not allowing your hips or your belly to droop down towards the mat, causing an arch in your back. You're tightening your abs, lifting your hips high, and they're gonna stay lifted high. And then all you're going to do is bend your elbows and lower your chest as close to the mat as you can. And then push the mat away from you. But nothing moves. You always maintain that straight line from your knees to your shoulders. If you cannot get your chest all the way down to the mat, you're not compensating by lowering your hips or your belly down to the mat and arching your back. You're not compensating by lowering your forehead down to the mat. You're just gonna shorten up your range of motion. So if you can only come down this far without breaking that straight line from your knees to your shoulders, that's fine. This is your push-up. As soon as you've gotten your chest as close to the mat as you can, just reverse the movement. Press your hands into the mat, push the ground away from you, and push yourself back up. If you want to elevate your hands, that will make the push-ups a bit easier. So you can elevate your hands on a chair. You can also do a standing push-up variation by doing push-ups off of your kitchen counter, or you can do wall push-ups. So if you are unable to get down on the mat, or if you have really bad knees and knee push-ups are very painful for you, first of all, try doubling your mat over once or twice. You could also try grabbing like a throw pillow, or I have these little cushions on my dining room chairs, you know, those little cushions, something like that. That might enable you to be able to do, that was redundant, enable you to be able to. That might enable you to do knee push-ups if you have bad knees. But if that's still not gonna cut it, remember that you have standing options for your push-ups as well. So if you need to see countertop push-ups or wall push-ups demonstrated and explained, just let me know, I'm happy to help you out with that. So again, whatever push-up variation works for you is what you should do. I'm going to be doing what I call these 1, 2, 3 push-ups, and they're really hard. I'm gonna regret this because I'm still not 100%. But I'm gonna get it done. It's only sets of 10, so I think I can handle it. So the way this works is that I'm going to come down here in my plank position. But now, before I do my push-up, I'm going to take one foot and bring it up towards the hand on the same side. So I'm bending this knee and I'm placing this foot on the ground. Not immediately, like right perfectly next to my hand. I mean, if you want to do this, great. But mine is ending up kind of just in that vicinity. So whatever kind of feels natural to you is fine. You don't have to like push yourself with like some crazy, you know, contortion or something. So mine always ends up right about here, but more or less next to this hand on the same side. And then I'm going to jump and switch the position of my feet. So I'm going to jump this foot back. At the same time, I'm going to jump this foot to the other side. Okay? And then I'm just going to repeat that 2 more times. So we're going to do it a total of 3 times. That's why I call them 1, 2, 3 push-ups. And then I'm going to do my push-up from this position with this foot over to the side like this. And that's 1 rep. So you're going to alternate sides with each rep, but you don't really need to think about that because your foot's already going to be on the other side. So from here, I'm going to jump and switch the position of my feet and count 1, 2, 3. And then I'm going to do a push-up. 1, 2, 3, push-up. Okay, so you're alternating sides with each rep, but that's nothing you really need to think about because you're just counting 1, 2, 3, push up, 1, 2, 3, push up, and your feet will automatically be on the other side. And that's the P of our SLAP, our slap circuit. So that's it. That's all for exercises. Now here's the format. I am going in order. We're spelling slap, so I'm starting with squats. I'm doing 10 squats, 10 lunges, 10 reps of abs, and 10 push-ups. That's the circuit. We're just going to repeat the circuit a total of 4 times. So I'm going to start with 10 reps of my squat plus a step and a side kick, alternating sides with each rep. Then I'll move on to my lunges. I'll do 10 jump lunges. Then abs, so 10 reps of my little reverse crunch exercise, and then 10 reps of 1, 2, 3 push-ups. That's 1 round, and we're gonna do 4 rounds, and that is how we are completing our 160 reps today. Hopefully that is clear. Please remember that I always take the time to type out the instructions in the description box down below the video, and I'm going to do the workout with you, so watch me do it, read the instructions, but then of course, as always, if anything is unclear with the format, if you have questions about how everything fits together, or if you need help modifying the format of the workout or the exercises that we're doing, I'm right here to help, so please just ask if you have questions about any of these exercises, if you have any doubts about how to do the exercises with the correct form, or if you need any further help with beginner modifications beyond what I have already provided, please remember I'm right here to help. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about any of it, okay? The exercises we're doing today, the workout today, the challenge, reach out if you have questions or if you need help, okay? And one last thing before we begin, I just want to remind you, especially if you are working out along with the video, to please go at your own pace and do not sacrifice your form for speed. It's not only important that you understand how to do the exercises correctly so that you reduce your risk of injury and so that you make sure you're getting the maximum benefit out of each exercise, but then it's important to apply that knowledge during the workout. So if you're racing through the exercises just because you're trying to go fast for the sake of going fast, or because you're trying to beat me or keep up with me, it's fine. If you're faster than I am, great, just as long as you're not sacrificing your form to get there. That sounded like I said gnat, like those little bugs. As long as you're not sacrificing your form to get there, okay? It's really important that you are minding your form. If you're slower than I am, great, you're getting the reps done, so I don't care how quickly you get them done. If you fall behind, either because you're working at a slower pace than I am or because you need to pause and rest, then absolutely pause the video and then just come back when you're ready. Challenge yourself to keep your rest breaks as short as you can, but take as long of a rest as you need, because you should only resume the workout when you feel that you have enough strength to continue with good form, okay? So that's first and foremost is to please mind your form. So go at your own pace and do not sacrifice your form for speed. And just remember to reach out if you have questions or if you need help, okay? It's really important that all of my workouts are always accessible to anyone and everyone who wants to do them with me, and especially so for this challenge this year. I am always here to help facilitate that. So ask questions if you have them, but if you are ready to go ahead and begin the workout, gather whatever equipment you need. So for me today, that's my fitness gloves because I'm doing push-ups on this hard concrete. This is one investment that I very strongly recommend that you consider making. Fitness gloves are inexpensive, but they're very useful. They make a lot of these exercises much more comfortable. You can also put your hands on an exercise mat or a yoga mat or maybe a towel to make you more comfortable for your push-ups. But especially if you're going to be continuing to follow my workouts regularly, I very strongly recommend that you consider buying a pair of fitness gloves. It's not a huge investment. They're usually, what, $15 or something like that. But they just can help make working out a lot more comfortable for you, especially, you know, if you're working out on concrete or something. Grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you are going to be down on the mat with me for abs. If you're doing standing abs, you may not need one, but if you're doing knee push-ups, you will definitely be more comfortable with something soft beneath you. So grab an exercise mat or a yoga mat if you have one. If you don't have a mat, a towel may suffice, or again, you can use like a throw pillow or a cushion or something to provide a little bit of protection for your knees if you need that for knee push-ups. But if you're working out on a carpeted floor or on grass, it's possible you may not need anything at all. So grab a mat or a towel if you have one. Grab a strong, sturdy, stable chair or stool or some other sort of elevated surface if you need to hold on to something for support. And then you can pause the video, go get dressed, and then meet me right back here. We are going to do a quick 5-minute warm up, and then we'll get our reps done together. All right, so as soon as you're ready, let's get started with our 5-minute warm up. You're going to begin by just letting your head gently fall towards one side. Place your hand on top of your head and just rest it there. You're not actively pulling your ear towards your shoulder. You're just resting your hand on top of your head and letting gravity do all the work of gently stretching out the other side of your neck. Now we're gonna switch sides, so you're going to let your head fall to the other shoulder, place your hand on your head and just rest it there. Feel a nice gentle stretch in your neck over here. Make sure you're keeping this shoulder down. The tendency might be to kind of let your shoulder creep up, push the shoulder down, away from the ears. Now we're gonna do some head rolls, so let your chin fall to your chest and then to the other shoulder and back. And each time you roll your head from side to side, just feel your head getting heavier and heavier. Letting your arms just kind of fall down in front of you like a rag doll, increasing your range of motion with each roll. And now we're gonna do some shoulder rolls. Really big circles with your shoulders, exaggerate the movement. So push your shoulders out in front of you, bring them all the way up to the ears, pinch your shoulder blades together behind you. And now we're gonna do arm circles. So you're going to extend your arms out to the side and just start by making small circles. And then gradually, as the interval progresses, go ahead and start expanding your range of motion, making those circles bigger and bigger until finally they're as big as you can make them. Now you're gonna step your feet out to be a little wider than shoulder width, and you're gonna bend your knees, kind of sweep your hands down in front of you, and then as you straighten your legs, reach your hands up above you like you're trying to touch the ceiling. And with each time you squat, just start sinking deeper and deeper until you're actually sweeping your fingertips along the ground if you can. Now keeping the feet wide apart, you're just gonna do some nice easy lunges, side to side, and now add the arms. So with each lunge, you're trying to throw your arm across the room. Next, we're gonna step our feet together. So bring your feet together in the middle and just march, nice and easy. And little by little, as the interval progresses, you can start driving your knees up a little higher, A little higher until finally you're driving your knees up as high towards your chest as you can. Feeling a nice little stretch in your glutes. Now we're gonna do the same thing with a jog. So start with the knees low, and then little by little, you can start driving them up towards your chest until finally you're driving your knees as high up as you can, doing these high knees with me. And next is our booty kicks. So still a nice light jog, but now with each step, you're bringing your feet behind you, trying to kick yourself in the booty with your heel. For this next one, you might need to hold onto a chair or onto the wall for support. If not, hands on your hips is fine. You're just gonna pick up one foot and swing the leg. Straight in front of you, straight behind you, nice and loose. We're gonna switch sides. So other leg. Shift your balance to the other side. Kick the leg in front of you. Swing it behind you. Just nice and loose. Okay, we're gonna switch legs again. So the leg that's swinging is gonna come down. I'm going to extend the other foot out in front of me. And I'm just gonna draw a little semicircle. Starting from the front, I'm gonna go around, and the leg's gonna end up behind me. And each time, I'm lifting the leg a little higher, until finally, I'm gonna drive the knee up in front of me and kind of guide it around with my hand. Same thing on the other side. So extend the leg out in front, draw a little semicircle around and behind you. Expand your range of motion each time. Lift that leg higher and higher, and then finally, drive the knee up in front of you, guide it around with your hand. Last is our hamstring stretch. So use a chair or the wall to assist you. Now you're just gonna hinge at the hips, feeling a stretch in those hamstrings. And the reason I say wall to assist you is because what we're trying to do is avoid rounding the back like this. There's nothing wrong with this. You're not going to hurt yourself if you allow your back to round, but if you straighten the back, you're really isolating your hamstrings and you are increasing the effectiveness of this stretch. So if you use a wall or a chair to assist you, it just makes it a lot easier to get into this stretch while keeping your back flat. All right, our 5 minutes is up. I just always like to spend a few extra seconds in that hamstring stretch because my hamstrings are tight and I want to improve my flexibility, especially in the backs of my legs. And I just want to make sure that I'm nice and warmed up and loose and ready for the workout. All right, now our muscles are nice and warm. Let's go ahead and get these reps done. We are starting with our squat variation. So again, I'm doing a squat, step across, side kick, alternating sides with each rep, and we're doing sets of 10 for everything, okay? So starting with 10 squats, any squat variation you want to do is fine. I'm starting my timer in 3, 2, 1, and go. So, squat, step across, and kick. Other side, squat, step, kick. That's 2, 3, 4. Keep going, we're going to 10, just do your best. Next is lunges. I'm doing jump lunges. You do any lunge variation you want, 10 reps. So jump and switch the legs. Abs, 10 reps. Standing abs if you want. If not, come down here on the mat with me. Press that low back into the mat. Lower the heels to the mat, and then lift the hips. 10. 10 reps, do your best. Okay, as quickly as you can, 10 push-ups. Whatever push-up variation you want to do. So I'm counting 1, 2, 3, and push up. Round 1. As soon as you're ready, let's start round 2. So another 10 squats. Jump lunges. So starting it down here in your lunge position, jump and switch the position of the feet. Abs. 10 reps. Push-ups. Round 2. We're halfway done. Pause and rest if you need to. I'm gonna go ahead and start round 3. When you're ready, here we go. 10 more squats. Jump lunges. So lunge, jump and switch the position of the legs. Of abs. Remember to make sure you press your low back into the mat. Push-ups, and then we're done with round 3. Let's push. I'm dying. We just have one round. Let's go. Home stretch. Let's push. I redid rep number 6 because I was getting fatigued and my form got sloppy. I wasn't happy with it, so I just decided to redo it. All right, we're almost 12 and a half minutes. Let's try to keep it as close to 13 as I can. If you're spent, like I am, I know it can be really tempting to just collapse in a heap on your mat and just lie there, but it's really important to get up and keep moving. Just pacing back and forth is absolutely fine, but you want to just keep the circulation going while you allow your heart rate to come down a little bit. So just pace around with me, shake out the legs. I'm really feeling my quads after all those squats. And after that really tough lunge variation that we did today, so I'll do a quick quad stretch. Just bringing one foot up behind me. Switch sides. So no balance on the other foot. Bring the opposite foot up behind you. Again, you can hold on to a chair or a stool or the wall for support if you lack balance. And as I'm pressing my heel into my booty cheek, I'm also tilting my pelvis forward, just like we did for our ab exercise, so that I'm kind of pushing my belly button back towards my spine. And when you do that with your hips, maybe from the side you can see. So here's what I'm talking about. Instead of allowing this arch in my low back, I'm pushing my hips forward like this. Can you see that? So I'm kind of clenching my booty, sucking my belly button to my spine as I'm pulling this heel into my booty cheek. Really helps to intensify that stretch in your quad. Quick shoulder stretch. That push-up variation that I was doing today took me out. I knew it would. I'm just so relieved I was able to do it. I figured since we were only doing sets of 10, it would be doable for me, even though I'm still regaining my strength and my stamina from whatever was going on last week. All right, shake it out, other side. So in this stretch, it's the arm that's straight that's being stretched. It's that shoulder that's being stretched. So in this straight arm, you want to allow that arm to be completely relaxed, and you're just using the other arm, the arm that's bent,
You're using that arm to pull the straight arm in towards your chest so that you can stretch out that shoulder. But the straight arm is not working, it's completely relaxed, okay? Let's do a quick tricep stretch. Just bending the elbow, using the other hand to pull that arm across your body and make sure that this hand is not up here somewhere. You want that hand to be reaching straight down towards the small of your back. Other side. Just pulling, gently stretching out your tricep muscles right here. All right, swing out the arms a little. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs. And once you feel that your heart rate is getting close to normal again, we can go ahead and do our bonus burpee. Remember that no workout of mine is ever complete until we have done our bonus burpee. So we have just 1 rep left to go. So if you are a beginner, I will walk you through how to do a beginner bonus burpee. Just because you're a beginner does not excuse you from having to do your bonus burpee. Everyone must do a bonus burpee. It can be any burpee variation you want, and there are a million different burpee variations. Many burpee variations include a push-up, many do not. I always include a push-up with my bonus burpee. But if you're done with push-ups, you've done your 40 push-ups for the day, so you've met your requirement to complete the challenge. So even though the bonus burpee is mandatory, it's not mandatory that you include a push-up. So you can do any burpee variation you want, and if it includes a push-up, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. But if you are a beginner, I'll walk you through how to do a beginner bonus burpee. So you're going to start standing in the middle of your mat. You're going to bend down and put your hands flat on the mat in front of you, and then you're going to step your feet back so that you are in a plank position. Now put your knees down for a push-up if you want to include a push-up. If not, you can eliminate it. Step the feet back in and stand. Come up onto your toes if you can, or if you want, you can add a little jump. If you are not a beginner and you would like to try to do the push-up from your toes, let's just go ahead and do one final bonus burpee together, and then the workout will be officially complete. So as soon as you're ready, here we go. Final rep of the day. The workout is now officially complete. That took me around 13 minutes and 16 seconds. It took me a few minutes to stop my timer, but I think it said 13:16 when I actually finished my last push-up. And I wanted to try to keep it close to 13 minutes. I managed to do that. So I just feel good that I got the reps done. I'm so glad that I'm able to get out here and do this. Having the physical ability to get out here and do my reps is not something that I take for granted. So even though I'm not in good shape right now, I'm nowhere near where I was at this time last year. Instead of focusing on that, especially after what I went through last week, I'm choosing to just focus on the fact that I'm physically able to get out here and do these reps. And then in addition to that, I managed to summon the mental strength, fortitude to find the motivation to actually get up, get dressed, get out here and get it done. So that is a win, and I think my official score for today was 13 minutes and 16 seconds. So I'm good with that. The important thing is just that I got it done. So now it's really important that you're taking a good 15 or 20 minutes to stretch. Right now, immediately after the workout is going to be the most effective and the most efficient time to do your stretching. If you cannot do it now, you just don't have time, that's fine. You can do your stretching later in the day as long as you get it done at some point during the day. That's really all that matters. Just remember that if you wait until later in the day to do your stretching, that your muscles will have gotten cold again. So the same way we take 5 minutes to do a warm-up before we start the workout, you want to make sure you're doing the same thing, taking a few minutes to warm up your muscles before you start your stretching routine, So if you can do it right now, you can skip the warm up because your muscles are already nice and warm, and you can just get right into your stretching, get it done, and get on with the rest of your day. So as long as you get your stretching done at some point during the day, that's all that matters. Just don't jump into your stretching routine with cold muscles. Taking a few minutes to stretch though is really going to go a long way towards helping to alleviate any muscle soreness that you might be experiencing after these workouts. It's also going to help reduce your risk of injury moving forward, and it's going to increase your flexibility and your mobility, which is important in and of itself. So please make sure that you're taking a few minutes to stretch every day. If you need a stretching routine, I'm more than happy to share a link with you for the stretching routine that I do every day. But it can really be any stretching routine. If you're a beginner and you don't know where to start, you don't know how to stretch or what to do, just go on YouTube and search for a beginner stretching routine. Or if your muscles are really tight and you need something that's geared towards inflexible people, there's plenty of that too. Just search for beginner stretching routine for inflexible people, and you're gonna see tons of great options. There is a specific stretching routine that I do every day. It's not my stretching routine. It's just a video that I found on YouTube years ago, and it works for me. I like it. I've stuck with it ever since. It's the only stretching routine I do. So if you want that link, just ask. I'm happy to share it with you. Before I do my stretching, I am going to add 20 minutes of moderate paced cardio with my jump rope. That is why I'm holding Rude Becca. Rude Becca is my adorable black jump rope with the cute little white skulls on the handles. And if you would like to know where I got this jump rope, there is a link and a coupon code in the description box down below the video. So click on the link and use coupon code RudeBecca to save an additional 10% on your jump rope. I am going to reset my timer for 40 rounds of 10-second rest intervals and 20-second work intervals. That's 20 minutes. I'm gonna put on some music, I'm gonna jump rope and just get my cardio done. Then I'll do my stretching immediately after that, and then I'll have my shower, eat some lunch, get on with the rest of my day. Now, you do not have to add on any cardio if you don't want to. I am sharing this because this is how I do the challenge. Every year, this is always how I do the challenge, by adding on 20 to 30 minutes or more of additional cardio after each one of the workouts. And the reason I do this is because I am trying to use this challenge to get myself back in shape, lose weight. I want to burn off some excess fat. I want to improve my stamina. I want to strengthen my heart and my lungs. So the additional cardio really goes a long way towards helping me to accelerate that process, and it enables me to start seeing results faster. And the sooner I start seeing results, the more it encourages me to keep going. So 9 times out of 10, it's jump rope for me because it's easy. I can just grab my jump rope, put on some music, get it done in 20 minutes. But every once in a while, I might decide I want to go for a run. I might hop on the exercise bike for 30 minutes. When I have time, I'll go for a hike. So it could be any kind of cardio exercise that you want. So yeah, you can go for a jog or a hike, or even just a brisk walk if you want. If you do have something like an elliptical or a treadmill or an exercise bike, you can hop on one of those for 30 minutes. If you have access to a pool or you live close to the beach, a swim is a great idea. If you have a heavy bag, you can work on your heavy bag. Just 20 to 30 minutes or more of any type of moderate paced cardio you want to do is fine. So I know that we're working out 6 days a week, every Monday through Saturday, and it's a big ask to find time 6 days a week for a cardio session after you complete your reps. I get that. So if you can't commit to doing 6 cardio sessions a week with me, at least try to squeeze in 2 to 3 cardio sessions a week. Try your best, because if you are also using this challenge to try to get yourself in shape, if you are trying to lose weight, it's really going to help accelerate that process for you. And I just know that you're going to be so much happier with your results at the end of the challenge. So the additional cardio is not required. It is not technically part of the challenge, but it is strongly recommended. But regardless of whether or not you are adding on cardio today, our 161 reps are complete. We have done our 40 squats, 40 lunges, 40 reps of abs, 40 push-ups and 1 bonus burpee for the day. So that is officially a wrap on day 18. Well done. We are almost halfway there, you guys. This is so exciting. So if you did this workout with me today, thank you very much. Please let me know what you thought of it and how you did. Thank you to everyone who has been working out with me lately. And even if you're not doing the workouts with me, thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for liking and sharing the videos. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful and supportive and engaging comments. It really does mean the world to me. Thank you to everyone who's doing the challenge with me. This is the most people in 6 years of doing this challenge. This is the most people I've ever had join the challenge. So I love knowing that you guys are right here working out with me every day. I know you're working hard. Please see this thing through with me. Okay, you're doing amazing. We're almost halfway there. So hang in there with me. If you started the challenge, but then you dropped out for some reason, come back. If you haven't joined the challenge yet, you can start today. It's fine. It's never too late to start. You can jump in and start the challenge on day 18 if you want, or if you want to start the challenge on day 1, great. Just make sure you start with that day 1 workout on a Wednesday, and then everything will fall into place. All you have to do is just follow along with the playlist. I've made it super easy to follow along, and I'm right here doing the challenge right along with you. I'm working out with you every day, but I am also here to help. I am here to provide guidance. I am here to help you find motivation. I am here to support you and encourage you, and I'm here to answer questions. So don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions about the challenge, what it is, why we're doing it, who's Brutus, why does he need to be slapped, where to begin, how to participate. If you have questions about how to do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups with the correct form. If you are a day 1 beginner and you think you can't do squats, lunges, abs, and push-ups, and that you therefore can't do this challenge, please let me convince you that you can do these exercises and you can do this challenge. So watch that day 1 video, and then if anything is unclear or if you have questions, just ask. I'm always here to help. You can start the challenge today, or you can start it with day 1 on any random Wednesday. If you agree to join me for this challenge, then you're the one doing it. It's your challenge. So you do it in whatever way works for you. And remember that I'm always here to help. So I just want to say one more thing before I go is thank you so much to all of my new subscribers. I've been getting a lot of new subscribers lately, and it makes me really happy. So thank you if you are a new subscriber. If you are not subscribed already, please subscribe. And of course, a very great, big, heartfelt thank you to those of you who have been subscribed to my channel for years. Please know that I appreciate you all so very much. That is going to do it for today. I will see you all right back here tomorrow for day 19. Bye.